Dear students and other YouTube viewers, Assalamu alaikum to all of you. In the previous lecture, we threw light on the topic Cold War and its causes. We discussed in detail the Cold War, try to understand the definition of Cold War, and then discussed the key factors or the main factors that contributed to the emergence of the Cold War. However, we could not finish the topic because we perceived that Putin will not allow a voluminous lecture to get uploaded. So we left it incomplete. In the previous lecture, we discussed Cold War and its causes. Among the causes, we discussed number one, ideological divide or ideological difference. The main cause that contributed to the emergence of the Cold War. Number two, Poland issue. And number three, resentment about history. पास्ट में क्या ग्रीवेंसेस थी इन दो ब्लॉकों में, आपस में इनका क्या बर्ताव रहा है, तो वो भी एक फैक्टर बन गया. जो प्री पास्ट ग्रीवेंसेस थी, एक दूसरे को पास्ट में कैसे ट्रीट किया, वो भी एक कॉज बना. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ these factors, instead of coming together, the two blocks distanced away from each other. So today we will discuss the remaining two factors that also contributed to the outbreak of the Cold War. Point number 4, inadequate Western aid. When Soviet Union entered the World War II on the side of the Allied powers, it was not as developed as its Western allies. It was lagging behind the Western allies in respect of military and economic development. So, it pinned hopes on its Western allies for fulfillment of its wartime requirements. But the Western allies only fulfilled 4% requirements of the Soviet Union during the war. The aid that Soviet Union demanded was for supplying military equipment, ammunition, and financial assistance. Only 4% requirements during the war was met by the Western allies, and that too was given to the Soviet Union in a delayed manner. When the Soviet Union demanded aid from its Western friends, they could not provide it. And when they provided aid to the Soviet Union, there was no need of it. As a result, the communists perceived that this is being done intentionally by their Western friends to weaken them. This was another factor that caused strain in their relations. This inadequate Western aid, and that too untimely, provoked the communists. And they felt that all this is being done intentionally with Western countries to weaken the Soviet Union. Now, point number 5, the last but not least factor that contributed to the emergence of the Cold War was socialism. Socialism is a political and economic theory of social organization that pleads that the means of production distribution and exchange should be regulated or owned by the whole community. In other words, socialists believe that the key revenue producing industries should be under the state control. On the other hand, the Western Bloc was a capitalist bloc. Capitalism is a system of economy, or it is that type of economic system that believes that state should not interfere in the trade affairs, and rather trade should be controlled by the private owners, and there should be no interference of the state in this regard. The growing influence of socialism or socialist approach outside the borders of Soviet Union created panic in the minds of the Western countries. It separated outside the borders of Soviet Union. It made its influence in Eastern Europe. It separated China, North Korea, and this alarmed the Western Bloc. They made strenuous efforts to protect their system of economy, that is, to protect and promote the capitalist system, and at the same time to suggest or to put in practice the different efforts that could check the separate of socialism, because they perceived that socialism is a danger or it is a serious threat to their capitalist system, and this was the another factor that led to the deadlock in the relations between the two and resulted in the outbreak of the Cold War. This Cold War dominated the world scene for about 45 minutes. Now, I think the topic is complete. So, what we discussed is that we discussed Cold War, its definition, what does the term Cold War mean, then the factors that contributed to it, and the different factors that we discussed are ideological differences, Poland issue, resentment about history, fourth one, that is inadequate Western aid to Soviet Union, and fifth one, socialism. I hope that you might have grasped the lesson. This is enough for today. Thanks. Khuda Hafiz. Stay home. Stay safe.